Hello everyone, I'm Little McGriddle. Welcome back. Now, this is rather different. You've heard of creepypasta. Surely you have, and I came across a channel that has a lot of really cool things on it, and I'm not going to be doing a reaction video, but I'm going to be watching one of the videos, and of course, I don't know why I decided to do this. I'm an idiot. Even though I hate clowns, decided to watch a video called I Used to Never Be Afraid of Clowns. Now, it's a creepypasta, which means it's just going to be a story, and I'm just going to be listening to it like that. Thought it would be interesting. So, well, I don't know, but maybe. That's a good intro. That's really cool.
I always thought it was strange that so many people had such an irrational fear of clowns.
Yeah, I know, right? Weird. Well,
When I was a little boy, maybe 9 or 10 years old, my parents took me to the circus. I have nothing but fond memories of that day. When I first stepped out of the vehicle, the very first thing I experienced was the scent of the circus. The sweetness of funnel cakes and cotton candy wafted
I love
all the
cotton
way out
candy.
into the parking lot. The underlying scent of the animal cages were a mere footnote to the smell of hot dogs and popcorn. The next thing to bombard my senses were the sounds. Shrieks of adults that were lifted high into the sky by one of the giant mechanical attractions
Okay.
echoed throughout the
Yeah,
whole
that sounds
area.
lovely.
The high-pitched squeals of children as they ran around from tent to tent. The sounds of games being played and a chorus of circus-goers chatting. All of that supplanted by the faint sound of circus music being played from the loudspeakers. When we entered through the large metal gates, I had a strange feeling come over me.
Oh no.
The gates themselves felt less like they were trying to keep people out than they were to keep people in. Once I was finally within the grounds, I experienced a total sensory overload. The lights, the sounds, the smells, each hitting me in wave after wave. My child-sized brain almost couldn't keep up with everything, let alone make decisions on what to do first. I ran from one stand to the next, browsing each of their wares. And that's when I saw it. In the distance was a stand, decorated with so many toys you could barely see the attendant standing inside of it.
Whoa. Nice.
With a stern yet welcoming tone, the man called out, "Ladies and gentlemen, step right up. Hurry, hurry. Every try wins a prize."
Really?
I'm
Do
unsure what
they?
compelled me to take off like I did, but I quickly found myself sprinting towards the man standing in the booth, while my parents lingered behind me. Just as I was closing the distance between me and Toy Nirvana, I tripped.
Oh no.
The taste of gravel and wood chips rubbed on my lips as my body slid into the ground. It took a moment for the white-hot pain to shoot throughout my body. I was on the verge of tears when I heard another voice.
Aw.
This voice was in the fashion of a cartoon character.
Oh no.
He
Yeah.
spoke in a weird tone with odd inflections. To be completely honest, I wasn't sure if I was truly hearing a person speak or a machine of some sort. This new voice spoke
I don't
loudly.
like clowns.
Uh-oh. Looks like someone had too much cotton candy.
Oh
Just then, my eyes
no.
adjusted and I could see a white-gloved hand outstretched in front of my face.
Oh, that sounded like
I
the
grabbed the
laugh
hand, not
from
thinking
Emily
twice,
Wants
and
to
was hoisted
Play.
into
That
the air and
creepy
set back onto
clown.
my feet.
Nope. I don't like
When
it.
I could finally
No.
focus on my surroundings, I looked up at him. Standing before me was a very tall man who appeared to have fallen into a rainbow. His face was pale like fresh cement. Around his mouth was red like he had just eaten an entire case of popsicles. His colorful hair shot out from the top of his head like he had just been struck by lightning.
It's pretty wild.
While this man was certainly odd and different, I honestly didn't feel threatened by him. He knelt down on one knee and spoke to me once again. "Are you okay, little boy?" he said in an almost mocking tone. Yes, I said, wiping some of the leftover gravel from my face. I'll tell you what, for being such a good little boy, you deserve a balloon, he exclaimed.
Something else
He
I'm
quickly stood
afraid
up
of.
and whirled
I
in
don't know why.
place.
I just don't like balloons.
When he turned back to face me, he had with him a single red balloon.
Oh, God.
He probably just grabbed it off of one of the stands next to us. But at the time, and to me, it seemed like magic. He handed me the balloon and gave off an enormous chuckle. Here you go!
Okay, Pennywise.
During this time, my parents had both ran up to me to make sure I was all right. When they stood next to me, I thought I saw the clown in front of me frown. It's a strange thing to see someone with a painted smile frown. My parents both thanked the clown for looking after me, but he didn't say a single word to them.
Oh.
He just kind of awkwardly stared at them. They once again thanked him and told me it was time to go home. Just as we were turning to leave, I heard the clown once more. Wait just a minute. I have something for you, he said to me as I quickly spun back around. When I saw him, his once previously empty hands now contained a teddy bear, which was roughly the size of my small child-sized frame. He knelt down, handing me the bear, and said one last thing to me.
Nope.
I hope you come back to see us again real soon, Matthew. With that, my parents ushered me from the circus grounds and back into
They
the
say his
car.
name?
The whole drive home, I couldn't help but stare at the red balloon and the stuffed animal, and wonder how the clown had known my name.
Oh.
It
That's
surely added
creepy.
weight to the magic thought I had earlier. After arriving home and getting ready for bed, my mother tucked me in and told me goodnight, before turning off my light and shutting my door.
Night,
I was
Mom.
filled with thoughts of the circus.
I've never been
what
to
I
a
had
circus,
experienced as I stared at my new teddy bear.
thankfully. I mean,
Then I heard a sound, like a faint whisper coming from somewhere in my room. It said. When I first heard it, I thought perhaps my father had come back into my room to wish me good night as well. But I had seen my door was still shut. I'm not sure exactly why, but when I noticed that my door was still closed, is when I began to feel unnerved. I began to feel as though I were trapped in my own room with this voice.
I don't like that
I
one
heard
bit.
it once again, trying to determine where the sound was coming from. As I gazed around my room is when I saw it. A white, gloved hand
Oh.
protruding from my closet door.
Oh.
Fear
Oh.
slowly started to settle in as I watched the hand gesture for me to come over. I remained in my bed. Not because of logic, but because I was unable to move. I barely managed to hold a blanket up over my head in some sort of instinctual self-preservation. An hour went by, and I didn't hear so much as a squeak. I thought that the whole ordeal was just my mind making things up. I pulled the covers down.
Well, that's what parents say when you have nightmares.
It was completely shut, with no ghostly hand sticking out of it. I felt my body begin to relax. Just as I was succumbing to exhaustion, I heard another whisper. Only this time, the sound was coming from underneath my bed.
Oh my
I
god.
felt my heart thrash in my chest when I heard it. My breath quickened and I felt sweat bead on my head. I don't know why I decided to look over the edge of my bed. When I peered over the edge, I saw him. That clown from before. His head was sticking out from underneath my bed. His makeup was smudged and his previously happy demeanor was non-existent. He stared at me with wide, vacant eyes, as if we were locked in a twisted staring contest. Suddenly, his hand shot out from underneath my bed and grabbed a hold of my face.
Oh.
I screamed so loud that my voice shattered a few seconds later, leaving me with only a hoarse, wheezing sound. I fought against his hand, trying desperately to get it off of me. The farther I lurched back to try and get away from his hand, the longer his arm became. It was like a tentacle with fingers. Tears began to soak my cheek as he began to pull me towards the floor. He was trying to drag me underneath the bed. With all my attempts to struggle proving ineffective, I did the only thing my childish mind could think of at that moment. I bit down on one of his fingers as hard as I could.
Okay.
This didn't even seem to faze him as he simply pulled harder. I finally lost my grip on the edge of my bed and fell to the floor with a sharp thud.
Oh no. Oh.
Through the tears in his hand, I could just barely see underneath my small twin-sized bed. There seemed to be a black void that his arm was coming out of. I kicked and punched at the arm with all my might, but it was hopeless. Just before I was dragged into the blackness, the light in my room turned on and my parents were standing in the doorway. I looked around and the arm was gone.
Of course it was.
I crumpled into a pile of
Oh my
tears
God.
and shallow breaths. My parents, concerned, asked me what had happened, and I told them everything. But they just said I ate way too much candy and had a nightmare. They let me sleep in their bed for the rest of the night. The following day after the incident, I worked up the courage to check underneath my bed. Sitting there, as if it were still trying to reach out for me,
Oh my God.
was a single white glove. I always thought it was strange that so many people had an irrational fear of clowns. I now know that I'm one of them,
Same here.
and it's most definitely not irrational.
No, it isn't. Oh, well, that's it. Okay. Wow, that was good. That was interesting. I mean, it's not usual to what I usually watch. But, I mean, I came across this channel and I really liked the content, so I just had to share one of them with you guys. Well, maybe I'll show another one. I don't know. But, that was really good. And also, no, it is not irrational to have a fear of clowns. It's hardly normal, and I hate clowns. But I love this video. Also, that was from Creepypasta Jr. And you can go check out his channel or their channel because there is a lot of great stuff over there on the channel. I haven't watched it all, but I've seen some, and they're really good. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Stay awesome. Bye.